Hi, I'm Trinity Marler, and I am a second year RA, applying for my third year, hopefully. And I'm currently in Lyman T. Johnson, but last year I was in Woodland Glen 4. Yeah, we'll jump right into it. So I have definitely used my Clifton strengths in this RA position, and I'll just list out my top 3. My top is achiever, restorative, and input. As an achiever, I have had to balance both school and this job. This job does take up a lot of time, and so being able to set up boundaries in both regards of being able to prioritize this job while also prioritizing school. If I didn't have these achiever strengths, I wouldn't have been able to time manage as well. My second one is restorative. So basically what that means is I'm energized by fixing and improving things. So that has come in handy in terms of doing roommate conflicts and staff conflicts. So I really think that communication is key to solving most issues. Most roommate conflicts I've had have been solved by just facilitated conversations, just us sitting down and talking to each other. I think a lot of times we're afraid to say what we feel in the moment. And so being able to come into a healthy space where both sides are heard and both sides are understood is great, and also a great skill for residents and for myself to take on after college and for the rest of life. And then my third strength is input, and that basically just means that I'm curious. I want to learn about everything, so that comes great when it comes to CAT-SUPs and just engaging with residents. I am genuinely curious about what's going on in their life, how they're doing, and so that's been good in being able to easily facilitate conversations with them. But also it's given me the chance to learn about different kids in terms of different cultures, different backgrounds, different socioeconomic factors, and how that affects them here at UK. And I really enjoy that aspect because I'm able to help kids that I might not have necessarily been able to help. So just an example, I currently have a resident who came from a lower socioeconomic area, and she really was struggling in one of her science classes, and I was able to talk to her about like going to the study and going to like the Gen Chem time, and like even I have a friend who tutors and was able to like set them up, and I don't think that I would have been able to access her if I wasn't in this role. So I really did appreciate that, and I think she did too, or I hope she did too. What leadership skills have I acquired while being in this position? My first year, definitely time management. I had never had a job this demanding while being a student and while taking really hard classes. I took organic last semester. And so being able to set up boundaries for both my schooling and my residents to prioritize both was hard, but definitely a skill that I had to acquire. And this year, one of my biggest struggles has been with getting students to be engaged. Last year I had residents that were pretty eager to want to hang out, want to do my CAT-SUPs and do community gatherings, and this year I've been struggling in that department a little bit. So I've had to get pretty creative in terms of reaching out to them for CAT-SUPs and joining the group me, stuff like that. So, I'm constantly making signs, constantly trying to bribe them with food, and I have seen that it has improved this semester since last semester, and I just hope to continue down that road. In this role, I've gained a lot of leadership skills and a lot of opportunities. One of the skills that I have acquired is crisis management. Specifically in Woodland Glen 4, I had to deal with a lot of incidents, and so being able to stay calm and just getting through them and making sure that I don't freak out and that I calm others down while I'm doing it. So that's been good. And also being thorough when you are doing those incidents, because you want to make sure you get all of the facts right, and you don't want anything to come back on you, and you want everything to be reported accurately. Yeah. Also, I was able to be a summer RA this past summer, and as the only returner for the summer into Woodland Glen 4, I basically stepped into like an intermediate SRA role. So I was able to schedule for the summer which was great because, you know, most people don't get that opportunity unless they are in SRA, and I was able to do it with pretty minimal issues. I had to accommodate a lot of people's vacation times and their other jobs, but I think everyone was pretty happy, and I really enjoyed that position. And then how would I like to develop further as a leader in this following year? I would like to develop further as a leader in this following year by stepping into more responsibility. So I think in particular, I want to see more community gatherings and more events in the building, specifically designed at like destigmatizing some things that we socially kind of have in our brain. So like specifically, you know, looking at like diversity inclusion events, and expanding that even to in disability events, and talk about mental health, and talk about what is a disability, because it's not just the visible disabilities that you see, there's also invisible disabilities, and just learning to accept and have healthy, welcoming environments, because, you know, anyone can be in a place, but not everyone can be in a community. So just making sure that we as Reslife continue to improve our welcoming abilities, and continue to make students feel welcomed regardless of their background or any of those factors. I also think that one of my suggestions that I've made to my RD and also would like to make to LT is that I think there should be more accountability in all regards. Ways for RAs to keep each other accountable, ways for RAs to keep the RDs and LT accountable, and probably ways for RDs to keep LT accountable, and etc. I just think that, you know, communication is key, and so, you know, it doesn't have to be like, as long as it's like constructive criticism and not, you know, someone being mean, like we can all improve in various ways. And so maybe setting up like not a direct verbal line, but some form of like verbal line, or like an RA committee, just some way to be able to give formal feedback. Yeah, I am excited to continue working in this department. I have loved it. It has been a great opportunity and a great job, and I just want to thank you for your time.